Okay, now we're going to look at another system of equations, and we're going to solve it using the substitution method. But these two equations will be a little bit more complex. Let me change colors here. So negative 7x minus 2y equals negative 13. And our other equation is x minus 2y equals 11. Okay, so our idea is the same thing. We have two equations here. They both have x's and y's in them. So that means they could be graphed on, maybe we could draw a line with those two equations on the grid, and where they intersect would be our answer. We can also solve this using algebra and figure out, well, what's going to be x and what's going to be y. Well, let's see. This one's a little bit more complicated, but I notice here with this equation here, it tells me that x, well, it shows that x is by itself. So if I can rearrange this equation here, if I can rearrange it so it's x equals something, then I can take that something and substitute it in this top equation in this x, and then I can get an answer for x. In algebra, they call that solve. I'll solve for x. It means I get a number answer, in this case for x, and then we can figure out what's going on. All right, so what am I talking about? So let's take this equation here, and I'm just going to write it over here real quick. Minus 2y equals 11. I'll draw our little fence here because it's an equation. And if I can get this negative 2y over here, I'm all set. Well, let's do it. Let's jump the fence. When she jumps, she'll be positive. She changes sign. And that's it. So now we have x, see how easy? X equals 11 plus 2y. Okay. Now, you know what? I'm going to switch that around. Let me just do this. I'm going to put 2y plus 11. It doesn't change anything because they're both positive. I haven't changed anything, just switched them around. It'll make it a little easier. So now we have x equals 2y minus or plus 11. Okay, 2y plus 11. I'm going to take that and I'm going to substitute it for this x up here. And let's see what happens. So we'll have negative 7. And then we just figured out x over here is 2y plus 11. And we're going to get rid of our x, aren't we? We're going to solve for y and then figure out what x is. And then minus 2y equals negative 13. Okay, so that gives us, see what we're doing? We're gonna get y equals something eventually here. And then we can solve for x too. So negative 14y minus 77. Now, where'd I get that from? Well, negative 7, it distributes, times 2y is negative 14y, and then negative 7 times a positive 11 is negative 77. And we still have the 2y here, and the negative 13 as on that side of the equal sign. All right, so what can we do here? Well, I notice we have a y here and a y here, so we can combine these two. So it's negative 14y minus 2y is going to be negative 16y. I'm going to draw my fence here, should have drawn it before. And then we have the minus 77 equals negative 13. Okay, we're doing just fine. Now the negative 77 will jump and become a positive 77. So it's gone from over here. So we have negative 16y, and then negative 13 plus a 77 is 64. Positive 64. We divide both sides by negative 16. Just like that, easy peasy. And we have y equals negative 4. Okay, so that's one of our answers right there, y equals negative 4. We're going to take that answer, we're going to take this y equals negative 4 and substitute it back into one of these equations. Now we could substitute in the first equation here or the second one. It really doesn't make any difference. But I'm going to save ourselves a little bit of work, and I'm going to substitute it in the second equation. It looks a little bit easier, doesn't it? So let's try that. Let's write the second equation down here. X, we could probably just use that up there, huh? But let's use the one that's in the problem. Equals 11. Now what did we figure y to be? Y is negative 4. So we have x minus 2 times negative 4 equals 11. So x, now what's negative 2 times negative 4? Well, that's 8, a positive 8 equals 11. Oops. Plus 8 equals 11. I bet you can just eyeball this. What number plus 8 is 11? Well, that's 3, of course. So that is our answer. X is 3 and y is negative 4. Like I said in the last video, often you'll see these combined as a point. They just write them just like this because x comes first and negative 4. Okay, that's all there is to it. Thank you very much.